Well, I did it. I survived another stay in the psych unit. I am currently waiting on my ride as I'm speaking for my Medicaid transport to go to the Seven Hills Day Center so I can get it arranged for my medications to be dropped off. Um, and I'm really nervous but optimistic. I spent a lot of time thinking in here, and I had a lot of interactions with people that kind of reminded me of old stories, and I told a lot of old stories. Um, so there was a little bit more of a reconnection with myself. Those who suffer from PTSD, like me, have a way of disassociating the more trauma you encounter. And unfortunately, I've encountered a lot of trauma in the last year. I was placed on felony probation, but the circumstances that led up to it were, in my case, I believe, unfair, because I needed mental help instead of being put into the legal system. But unfortunately, that takes so long that I didn't want to wait for mental health court, and I settled for the felony. So when I got sober, I forgot pretty much everything that I had known and suffered a depression so deep that I felt like I would not be able to take care of myself. And my mind told me such horrific things that I ended up throwing myself off of a bridge. And a lot has happened this last year. My fiance saw me do that. He was being revoked on his felony probation. He cut his ankle monitor off and ran, and he has recently turned himself in. So I am waiting on the outcome of that situation, and I'm standing by his side. But it is hard, and I face judgment from others who don't understand why I am staying by his side. But I have seen the man that he can be, and I know that all things can be forgiven, and there's a lot that I believe that he is innocent that he had to face time for. So I deal with that, and that has been a part of the trauma, because we lived together for a year and a half, pretty much like man and wife. And I had been lonely my entire life, even in a room full of people. But the more I tried to love over my life, the more trauma I experienced from people who either couldn't return my love, or for whatever reason, we weren't at the same healing point in our lives to be able to give back and forth to one another. And it did a lot of damage. So finally having what I had been looking for my whole life and having that taken away from me, it isn't just like a typical separation. It's so much more to me than I can even explain. So I deal with that loneliness and the thoughts that went through my head were so traumatizing that I disassociated from all the good parts of myself, my memories, what I felt for my friends, just everything. And being in here gave me time to sit still and to think of the recent memories which have been triggered by my interactions with old friends and spending time in nature, and even my coworkers who only knew me as a client until the last few months. So I've jotted some of it down. I'll be talking about some of it, but I just for now wanted to give an update and let everybody know that I'm back.